Yo, 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 what's good, my people? What is good, my people? It's your boy Jason Gooner, and we are back live on Jason Gooner TV. This time, you see the thumbnail, you see the title. It's about the Jamaica national team, the Reggae Boyz, will be taking on the United States men's national team in a two-leg fixture. Of course, the first fixture coming up in exactly 7 days. That will be the 14th from Kingston, Jamaica. So we are here to break down all things Reggae Boyz squad. We want to go ahead and I'm going to pick what I would call my 23-man squad for this fixture with the United States. I'm sure that there will be some picks on here that perhaps won't be what we'll see come next week, but or not next week, but come Saturday. Of course, the press conference will be Saturday morning at 10 a.m. local time in Jamaica. So one of the things that I've heard, and it's very positive for me personally, and anybody else who, follows the Reggae Boyz from overseas, it will be a Zoom link for this press conference, meaning potentially we will get a chance to ask some questions in the press conference. So we're very, very excited about that. So the other day I had an extremely wonderful comment. I believe it was Nitro. I want to make sure I'm giving the right person credit, but I think it was Nitro. He sent in like 4 questions, and I thought all of them were really well constructed. So on the comment section of this video, when the video has ended, please be sure to drop your questions in the comment section as far as what you would like the coach to be asked in the press conference on Saturday. As I said, again, they're going to have the Zoom link. So that means that they'll have some virtual people present at the press conference. My hope is there will be a segment for some questions from, anybody who is on that Zoom call. So yeah, that's my hope, people. Hopefully that can happen. So fingers crossed, I will be present either way. So yeah, hopefully we get a chance to ask a question. Yeah, man. Big up yourself, Martin. What go on, bro? We're outside, bro. Daytime. I think I Am Sure Sports is live right now, but I just couldn't really. This is really the time that I have during today. So yeah, I just had to start up the show, and hopefully, it doesn't infringe too much on what's going on over there. Yeah. Bless up Young Kings. Yeah, I deal with, bro. We're there outside. I go on, bring the content to the people. You don't know, man's watch a lot of football, So whenever we have these starts and we're discussing the things, we like to have the discussion with the fans them present, So we're gonna take some time, make the place, get some more folks in the building. Just want to say big up all the people them that are gonna tune in today and who is here right now. And of course, you know the rules, people. Just like the video, share the content, and if you are brand new to the channel, consider dropping a subscription. This is Jason Gooner TV, where you'll find pretty much we talk about football from every direction, very stat driven. So we like to talk about the statistics as well, because we think that plays a part. And of course, we have to watch the actual damn football. So we'll watch the football and we'll come tell you about it. Yeah, actually watching Galatasaray and Tottenham right now. Was watching Olympiacos and Rangers because Dejan Sterling actually started today for Rangers playing right back. So I was just watching him. He did get substituted just a little bit ago. So I was looking at the scores and I thought this would be interesting to see the end of this Tottenham game, because they're down to 10, but it looked like Ange bring on all the big guns trying to get back a goal. So I'm get back 1 to 3-2 now. So yeah, it'll go on. Martin same dep on the work. Bro, them program help work go faster, So I know the settings go already. Coach should know his best squad by now. Yeah, you would think so. I think where it gets tricky for international coaches, though, Young Kings, is you might have what you think in your mind is your best squad, but you have to factor in, are the players fit? How are they playing? Are they even playing? What are the needs of this team compared to who the best players are? So it's a lot of variables besides just saying, okay, these are the best players. You have to put the squad together to make sense to play together. So I think that's a part of the challenge, right? And I wait in Chelsea match. Yeah. Chelsea, I play against the brother we build the arc today. I didn't know he had a football team, but yeah, Noah. Depend on the works and I listen. Big up Swamtivity. Yeah, man. I know how the work settings go. Definitely help the time go a little bit faster when you're out there do your thing, I know that go already long time. Yeah. So All right, no itching people. I have something set up here. I have the tactical pad squad builder set up. So we're gonna type in the players once we go along. But of course, we want to go through the positions, right? So the way me see it, people, what makes the most sense for me for squad balance, you want to have, let's just obviously you're gonna have your 3 goalkeepers. I would probably cap it at 8 defenders, and I would love if I have 2 options at left back, 2 options at right back, and 4 options at centre back. So pretty standard, I think, squad composition when you're talking about a 23-man squad. So for me, that's what I would do, right? So let's just go through all those. Let's just do the goalkeepers first. I think if we're being totally honest with ourselves, right, we kind of know 2 of the 3 goalkeepers. I think there should be a pretty much consensus going around. I say about 13, 14 of us in here now. Blake and Jamali wait pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Let's just take a look at how these 2 players have been doing. For anybody that's haven't been keeping up with the players, we're just gonna show you guys real quick. Andre Blake. Now Philly did not make the playoffs, so what I really wanted people to see, no Swamptivity. The squad is gonna pick on Saturday morning, or it will be announced Saturday morning. I'm sure it's been picked by now, but it will be announced Saturday morning. So Saturday morning, 10 o'clock, should be live. I will be in the press conference virtually, so hopefully mans get a chance to ask some questions to the coach, at least one. I believe Charlton players and King will get dropped. Yeah, we're gonna get to those areas of the pitch in a minute. We're gonna discuss the CBs in a second, but right now we're just gonna start out with the goalkeepers first. Young Kingston Russell on form last 3 games for club, full 90 minutes. Yes, I have been tracking Russell. I know he scored a goal the other day as well. We'll go through though. We're gonna get there, Young Kings. Yeah, man. So Andre Blake, 33 years of age, as you can see, 6'4", had some spells this season that were a bit tough for him, as you can see. The last 12 months had a few spells with injuries, a couple of months right there in that summer area time. Of course, Copa America we played, he wasn't able to take part. Missed our World Cup qualifiers as well. So Jamali Waite stood in for him in his absence, but in his club football this season, his last game would have been on October the 19th, and they were then eliminated from playoff contention. Only got to play 15 games out of a season this season, so not that many games due to his injuries and time off the pitch. But if we're being totally honest, for Jamaica, the Cuba game 6.8, then the Honduras game where we won away had an excellent performance, 7.4. And then I thought he was the man of the window for Jamaica and potentially for the entire Concacaf, the last window, 8.2 and an 8.0. Heroic performances from Blake in his last, I would say, 3 fixtures for Jamaica. Didn't have much to do in the Cuba game, but definitely in the Honduras game when we went away and won 2-1, the 2-0 win in Nicaragua and the 0-0 at home to Honduras, definitely did his thing. So, yeah, Andre Blake, I think he pretty much the consensus pick, right? I don't think anybody will not have Blake in the team. So let's just flip over the screens. Let me get the tactical part going. All right, so let's go to the team settings, team squad. So the number 1, Andre Blake, pretty much gets that position, no problem. Second keeper, I think we need to probably just look at his stats as well. Jamali Waite. See what he's up to in the USL Championship right now. Also had a little bit of time out with injury as well this season, but not nearly as long of a time out as Blake. But this is what Jamali Waite has been up to lately at his club El Paso Locomotive in the championship. So if you look here, recent matches. So he's had 3 matches in the championship recently, 16th, 19th, and 26th of October. Started all of those games. If you look at his season, he played 27 starting all of those. Over 1 goal a game, so not the greatest there. Goals conceded. His team has kind of struggled this season, so can't really put everything on Jamali. He hasn't really been helped out much with this squad this season. But yeah, if you look at his games, pretty consistent, 1, 2, 3. Before the last window, he was playing all the games, some good scores, 7-2, 7-2, 7.8. So I think capable, definitely as a deputy to Blake. We've got to see him against really high quality opposition. And I think, once he limits, if he does happen to play, once he limits the mistakes, I think sometimes coming off of his line, he can get into trouble. Maybe going to get through passes that maybe he can't reach, ends up in no man's land sometimes. So as long as he can limit those things, I do think that he's, accomplished as a shot stopper, good handling of the ball as well. I just think his decision making off his line at times, can get him into trouble. So, definitely capable, but we would hope that Mr. Blake would be good to go for these 2 games. And as far as I know, people, there's nothing to worry about. But as you can see, they didn't make the playoffs. They are in last place in the league, El Paso. So not a good season for them. Of course, there's no relegation in the US footballing system. So, no threat of that. He should be back next season with them. So, yeah. Is that something we worry about, all our US-based players? I don't think it's too long of a time off, to be honest. I mean, if they play their last game at the end of last month, it would just be the equivalent of, a little mini vacation before, ramping up everything. And I'm sure they would understand that with the window coming up, they would have kept some kind of regimen going leading into this window. So I expect them to be well prepared, and I don't think that the layoff is too long for either Waite or Andre Blake. Of course, you'd rather they were playing this weekend as well just to stay sharp, but sometimes a little rest before the camp can be good. And they definitely will have that, at least all of the US-based contingent, as most of their seasons, unless they're still in the playoffs, they would be finished with football, about a week or so ago. So Jamali Waite, for me, gets that second slot. So let me click over back to the pad. Jamali Waite, he usually wears 23, I believe. All right, so added him in. All right, now, where I think we can have a discussion now is the third goalkeeper. So the first name, obviously, that comes to mind would be Shaquan Davis. He would have been the most recent quote-unquote third-string keeper. He's at Mount Pleasant, of course, playing in the JPL currently, and recently got some games in the Concacaf Caribbean Cup as well. Most recently, fall into Real Hope in the early part of October. But did he? Yeah, he did play this game. Yeah, so for me, I believe that this third goalkeeper spot, so you have Shaquan Davis there. You have as well the other player who has been in this role recently, Kanaya Boyce Clark. We know he came to the window, I believe it was the window in September, and he was called back to Reading, I believe like halfway through the window. After 1 game, he was called back to go back to play for Reading. Now, what he's been up to with his club lately is basically, in League One, he's been on the bench. So he's been the second string keeper in League One pretty much for the most of the season. Did get the one game against Leyton Orient, and sadly for him, he did make a mistake which led to the goal in that one, and that was the only goal of the game. That next week he was back on the bench. Now, I don't think he would have still played even if he didn't make that one mistake, because the goalkeeper who was injured did come back. But he has been getting some games in the Premier League International Cup, which is basically a U21 competition that would include the likes of many clubs around Europe. As you can see, they're in Group A, and they have Valencia B, Monaco U21, Forest U21, Wolves U21, Dinamo, Young Ajax, and Tottenham U21. So very interesting that he's getting a chance to play at least some games with some different competition as well. But for me, I don't know. I know that, and I want to give a shout out actually to Cranky. I know he did a show yesterday where he interviewed Dennis Strong, right? And one of the things that Dennis Strong was talking about, and something that he has kind of, it seems like, hung his hat on since he's been at the JFF, is fiscal responsibility. And a lot of times when, like me personally, I'm trying to think of the players I would pick if it was me picking the team, which is like what this exercise today is going to be. I perhaps don't really think about that side of it. I'm only thinking purely from a footballing perspective. And I don't believe that that's the only thing that the JFF and the technical committee take into consideration, and even as by extension the coach, because I'm sure that that level of fiscal responsibility and how they want to operate would have been conveyed to the coach as well. So a lot of times when it's a case like this where, okay, you have two goalkeepers that you pretty much know that they're the one and two for you, that third string spot, very rarely they'll probably get game time in a 2-game window as such. And so when you're talking about fiscal responsibility, is it fiscally responsible to bring over Kanaya Boyce Clark as the third string? Right? Again, I'm not going to pick this squad today thinking about fiscal responsibility. And that's why I don't think that this squad will be the actual squad. And that's fine. I'm just saying, if all things being equal, we didn't have to worry about things like that, and we just pick the team based on, what we see on the football pitch. I think Kanaya Boyce Clark is a great shout. Now, there's another player who I think, could definitely be involved in our goalkeeper pool. We got to see him play once for Jamaica in an unofficial game. But his name is Corey Adai. He's now 27 years of age, and he plays for Stockport County in League One. And that's also the club of Ricardo Bibi Gardner's son, Che, as well. And he's been the starting keeper for this club this season. As you can see, 6.83 on the season for Corey Adai. 14 matches played. So basically, I think they've played about 17. So he has missed a few due to injury. But in the league, doing pretty good. 14 games played. I think he has, 5 clean sheets, I want to say. Yeah, 5 clean sheets. And as you can see, he's basically a mountain in goal. He's 6'8". Corey Adai was in League 2 last season, helped his club gain promotion, Crawley Town. So Crawley Town got up to League 1 on the back of his heroics last year. And he did move along this past off season to in the summer window. He moved on to Stockport County in League 1. So I think, I am not really certain if this player has his documents and is a full-fledged Jamaican citizen. But if he is, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. But, if I had any confirmation, I've tried to reach out to Corey directly. Well, not directly, kind of, via social media and stuff. And I've been kind of unsuccessful reaching out and everything. We just kind of get in touch. So, I want to just ask him, like, bro, do you have a passport? Because if you do, I would love to be one of the people that keeps highlighting what you're doing, because, yeah, he's 27 years of age now, but at the same time, he's a goalkeeper. So goalkeepers, can be in their prime well into their mid to late 30s. So, potentially this is a guy that we could have for a good little while, at least a few cycles for sure. And with those measurables, the 6'8", I think he has improved a lot with his feet from what I've seen. So, he's just a player that needs to be in our conscious, I think. I just, again, need confirmation. I know it says right there, clear as day on the screen, nationality Jamaican. I wouldn't say that is 1000% meaning that he has a passport, but that's definitely a good sign. But Corey Adai, people, I'm telling you, if you follow League One at all, I know a lot of people probably follow in the league, because we have a few players there. Obviously, John Russell, Keroy Anderson, recently Kaheem Dixon joined as well. So there's quite a few players and reasons to track this league. And I have always been following this player, Corey Adai, ever since I saw him play for us. I want to say it was either Japan or it was against I'm trying to remember what game it was. So let me see. I'm gonna just go to all his matches, because I know one of these should be Jamaica. 23, I think it was like 22. Somebody help me out. Was it Catalonia he played against, or Japan? Or was it when we played I remember we had a friendly in Africa as well. Did he play in that game? I don't remember what game it was, but he did get a cap, unofficial cap at least. Young King said, we don't need 3 or 4 goalkeepers, to be honest. Okay. Well, I mean, look, you want to have, I would think in the goalkeeping pool, you want to have like 5 keepers, because, you just never know. Like, what if 2 of them are out, and, you want to have about, I'd say, 5 to 6 keepers that you think, okay, this is my first team pool, right? And you want to strategically build it out. You want to have, maybe a couple of youth keepers in the mix. You have your potential starters, which is probably your first 2 to 3, and then you probably have maybe what you'd call like a wild card. Somebody who's just on brilliant form, who maybe came out of the blue, but you want to see him in the setup with the other goalkeepers to see how he stacks up. You want to have some kind of strategy to how you're building the unit, but I definitely think you want to have more than just what we're going to pick every time. And I think sometimes we get so caught up in, we need starters. A lot of times when we watch Jamaica play, we want things to change. And I think the coach is not doing it that fast, because maybe the way we pick the team, we didn't really think so much about those moments when maybe this guy who we're depending on isn't giving us what we need, Big up Sherman, one done, Clarion done. One, where you deal with, bro? Big up yourself, Yeah, man, up top every time. One say Adai has done okay when I watched him this season. Don't look the best at playing out, but looks like he's playing quite well. Probably deserves a call. Yeah, I mean, on merit, I would say, if you just look at, like, we're calling Kanaya, probably for the exposure more than anything, because it couldn't be because of like performance. He just doesn't play enough football for me. This guy has been playing, I could understand maybe a little that, it wasn't that big of a thing because he was in League Two. Maybe they just, were frowning on it a bit. And you can tell, there is a drop off from League Two up to League One, because look at his appearances in League Two. It's like 7.5 he was averaging. In the step up in leagues, he's just a touch under 7 for his rating. So, it is a big difference. But yeah, and I will agree that he's not because he's 6'8", it don't look the best when he's playing out. But I feel like I remember, like, when I first heard about him and started watching him and saw some clips and stuff, he was a lot more vulnerable with the ball at his feet. I still don't think he's like, Ederson by any means or close to it. But yeah, he's I just think I want him to be a part of the unit and train with Blake and let McLaren see him up close, because and Hartis, obviously, who's a goalkeeper coach, and just see what they think, because I feel like if he gets into the mix, he could potentially challenge Wait for the second spot. So, and I think, when you're picking that goalkeeper unit, you want to be able to have all of them challenging. I think that would be the goal. You don't want to just know for sure that this man is going to be this spot and this, you want it to be, after today's training, I don't know who to pick. Big up 1-1, respect for the super chat, bro. Yeah, man. Break the seal. The people that will do it now. Catalonia, I think. Yeah, I believe it was that much too. LOL, what a statement. You always need players. Yeah, absolutely. You need players. I would say, like, yeah, you definitely need players. This baller is a forward. What? 6'8"? I don't know. Peter Crouch. It's okay for Kanaya to be called if we have a few extra spots for young players, in my opinion. Okay, so big up we Max it in the building. Him say he's better than all except Blake. Yeah. Hard to argue that. And I think if Kanaya was playing more consistently at the top level, I would say he would be in the conversation to get that second spot too, overweight. But I just don't know how justifiable it is, because he's just not. I mean, yes, he's training at a high level every day. Can't take that from him. He's in the championship training, or in League One, training. So that's big. That's a big deal. Getting very good. And I think the Premier, them in that international cup helps too, because it's one thing to train, but you want those game reps. You want to see those crosses coming in, collecting them under pressure. That's important. So I like that he's playing that competition too, just to get him more and more games. JFF ain't paying extra flights for young players, so they call them in place of better players. Yeah, that is pretty much what happens. But today, as I said, 1-1, I am picking this team as if the JFF just got bankrolled by Elon Musk and Trump and everybody else with a whole bag of money, and we can just send private planes all over the world for the players. Yeah, so this is my dream 23 if all these other factors that don't have nothing to do with football weren't at play. Okay, man. Brown man, I rush the thing. Him said the keeper them will take too long pan. He want some forward in his side. All right, Brown man, big up yourself. Yeah, security go and hold the door. And yeah, we will get to the forward line. All right, so let's go. Let's flip back over now to the and make sure you guys are liking the video. I see the numbers steadily going up on the live viewership. So please make sure that the likes are matching up. You know what I mean? I don't want to see 4 goalkeepers. If you're calling Kanaya, make him one of the 3. I think he has potential. Yeah, for sure. My squad composition, they have money until players should be called. Where it says selective, they have a selective bank account. It's certain things they have money for. Yeah, I get what you're saying there. All right, so let's go back to the team squad. Because that's all right, I mean. So I filled in weight already. For me, the only reason, actually, you know what? This is my dream. So right now, I would go like this. Corey Adai, Jamali Waite, and Andre Blake. That's my 3 right now. Form, continuity. We have 2 that have been around the team. We're bringing in a new third string keeper to this setup, but he is definitely on form, merit over the past, I would say, 2 seasons. Should have been in the player pool. So we're just, as I said, this is my dream 23. And I don't think it's so far-fetched to think that he has his documentation. So it's not a case like I'm putting a Mason Greenwood in the team, who we know the day he gets his passport, we'll hear about it from every single person under the sun. We haven't heard that yet, so we know that's not the case. So right now, people, we just have the 3. You just heard a clip people saying that they have money, so bringing in players shouldn't be a problem. Well, there you go. There you go. So that's my dream 3 of the goalkeepers pool right there, people. Andre Blake, Corey Adai, and Jamali Waite. So let's move on now. As I said, people, I'm gonna go by squad composition, right? And for me, for the best balance, I'm gonna go with 3 goalkeepers, 8 defenders. But for the 8 defenders, this is how I want it to break down. I want 4 of them to be center backs. I would like 2 of them to be able to play right back and 2 of them to be able to play left back at a minimum. Now, if a couple of them can play more than one of those 3 positions, wonderful. But we're going to pick 4 center backs, 2 right backs, and 2 left backs. All right. So let us just first and foremost just look at some players who are in the pool. Right. So Ethan Pinnock, people. Ethan Pinnock, we know that he's in the pool. He might be the lifeguard of the pool. So let's flip to the other screen so we can look at some stats. All right, so Ethan Pinnock, aka the lifeguard. So Ethan Pinnock, having a good season this season, right at about 7.04 SOFA score rating for the season. And you can see his last 4 games, especially even the 5th game there with the West Ham. I thought that was a good performance as well. 6.9, 7.3, 8.2 against Man U, 7.2 and a 7.1. So, consistency right at the green level. Anytime you're looking up players on any of these sites, if their stat, it doesn't matter what the number says. If it's green, that means it was a good performance, right? So he's consistently giving you good performances. Playing typically in a back 4 this season with Brentford. Sometimes Thomas Frank likes to switch between the 3 and the 4, but predominantly lately they've been in the 4, and he's been looking really good lately. He's been partnering Collins in the middle of that defense, and apart from a few little things that happen where at times maybe he takes that play out from the back, the pass a little bit for granted, or just a split second not quite tracking his marker early enough. He has given up a few little opportunities, but I think in the grand scheme of how much they do concede chances, he definitely clears the ball more than gives up a goal. So I can't really kill him so much for, giving up goals, because I think his team gives up a lot of opportunities during games. So, can't just go away from the fact that, he stops a lot more than he lets in, right? If you look at his overall stats, defensive wise, evidence of that is, a player that plays in a defense getting at least 7 every game, no clean sheets. So they're just conceding too many chances in the games. Interceptions per game, tackles per game, very good. Has 3 ball recoveries a game, makes 6 clearances per game. So that should tell you as well. He has 2 errors leading to goals, which I spoke about. Hasn't committed any penalties. And then, of course, as is typical for Ethan, only 1 yellow card on the season so far. And this is all in the Premier League. And that's typically where he plays. The cup matches, the coach, he's at a point now in the Premier League where he's somebody that they want to rest just for the Premier League. So he don't really play cup matches unless they reach far. He might start playing later. But now, Ethan is the Premier League man who is on the team sheet, probably the first name them right. So Ethan Pinnock, similar to what you do with your club, for me, if I am your coach for Jamaica, you're probably the first name I'm writing as well. LOL, we need so much players. I hear people say if you stop recruit. Yeah, I don't get it either. Why would you ever want to stop off the flow of players? Ever? You know what I'm saying? Football is not something that tomorrow is promised. So the players that you're banking on right now, who knows where they will be. Just heard a clip, people saying they have money. Okay. I read that already. Yeah, one agreed. We're short in certain areas, so why should we stop? Absolutely. One man, people in Jamaica say that. They say some conman style. All right, so Martin a drop theme center back them Ethan Lowe, Bernard, and Holgate. Okay, that's a sound tree bad, you know. And a sound tree bad. Let's see. You say Ethan Bernard. So let's check out Deshaun, what he's been up to. Deshaun, all right. So he's with Sheffield Wednesday. I believe they played. Should I play that game a couple of days ago? I think this was Tuesday. Yeah, this was on Tuesday. Yeah, he played this game against Norwich on Tuesday. Good result, 2-0 at a 6.9. Would have probably been a 7, but he got dribble pass one time. So they knocked him down just for that. And he wasn't really that active, to be honest. You know, he did have 3 clearances, 2 tackles, but only went into 3 duels for the whole 90. So, you know, not sometimes these statistics you have to really be involved. And yeah, he wasn't really in so many duels, so couldn't really boost up the stats so much. But good performance, 6.9, on the back of a tough one for them, for his whole team, really. I think they got 6-2 from Watford the game before that. And in this one, he did give up a penalty as well. So it was tough. It was tough. But, you know, one thing I love about Deshaun Bernard and his statistics, you know, he's a guy that's going to give you 85 to 90% passing most of the time. And that's something that I think against this USA press, you want players that, you know, first and foremost, have the technical ability to do it. And secondly, have the ability to execute those passes under pressure. You know, and even if he's not under pressure, just being sure-footed with the passes, giving the player who you're passing to the most amount of time to, you know, deal with the press that they're going to come under when they receive the pass. So, you know, all of that ties into it. And if you have the more players on the pitch you have playing the ball accurate to each player, the more reaction time each player who receives it has. And so, you know, you want to fill the team with the most accurate passers against a pressing team like the US. I think that's a part of the reason why, you know, we didn't really have much of the ball when we played them the last time. Like, I think we had, 30% or 28%, something crazy like that. But the players who were playing on that back line in that game, you know, he went with the back 3. It was Latibeaudiere, Bernard, and I think, was it Hector? No, Hector came on. So Latibeaudiere, Bernard. I know Lowe was playing midfield. Maybe it was Hector, you know. I think it was Hector. I want to check or played them. Okay, 3-1 lineup. Yeah, Hector. Okay, so it was Hector, Latibeaudiere, and Bernard. But if you look at those 3 players, you know, of the defending pool, the only one missing as far as the ones who could really pass the ball, in my estimation, under pressure around the back, is Pinnock. So, you know, is this the blueprint to play the USA? A system like this, just take out Hector since he's not playing football right now, drop Pinnock in there. And, you know, even though Pinnock is left-footed, I would venture to say I would rather have him in the center of it and put Latibeaudiere one side and Bernard one side, you know. But I'm sure others would say we need Damion Lowe's defensive ability on the back line against the USA. I would venture to say we don't, because in this game we didn't need Damion Lowe to play defense, and we defended really well for 96 minutes, right? I mean, yes, we're under the cosh. Blake had to make a bag of saves, we know, but you know, he only made 5. I mean, that's low compared to what we've been seeing lately. Honduras, what he made, like 8, 9. So 5 saves, not so bad in the grand scheme. But Deshaun Bernard having a good season as well. I think he's probably, as far as I'm concerned, this whole entire season, probably our second most consistent center back that we can call. You know, Damion Lowe lately has really stepped up his game, but I wouldn't say that's been the case right through this season. Bernard, I think, has been the second most consistent performer of the pool of centre backs that we have. So for me, Deshaun Bernard and Pinnock, I would say, get into the team, right? So let me flip over to the thing so I can get prepped and put them in. So Ethan Pinnock is one, and we're gonna say Bernard is another. Okay. Now, those are two center backs that I am gonna put into my squad. Now, another center back that we need to look at and talk about is Damion Lowe. Just mentioned him. He's now at Al Uqdoud over there in Saudi Arabia. They have pretty much finally gotten some points. They defeated a team 4-0. They drew 1-1. So, 2 games with positive points is something I don't think they have seen this season. I think they're up to like 8 points now, I want to say. So, yeah, still not the best. But the good thing for Damion Lowe is he seems to be getting some consistency now in his performance out there. Only gave up the 1 goal to Al Riyadh, 1 goal to Al Ahly, then a clean sheet. Had, 3 performances above 7 in those 3. Also, I think more importantly for someone like Damion, as you can see, since he's been there, didn't start well at all. Yellow-red in his first Pro League game, and then in the Kings Cup got a red card as well. Back-to-back games. Then he had to sit out a few due to suspension. Came back October the 20th, 25th, and 31st, and should have won. I think they have one more game this weekend, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check. Yeah, so they have a game on Saturday. So he'll be back in action Saturday. Hopefully he gets through that one well. But for me, like, couple of factors, right? So, I have had quite a history, so to speak, with Damion Lowe, and like how I analyze his play and everything. And he's not my favorite style of player, to be honest. I don't really love the players that kind of, without being like ultra aggressive, they can't really affect the game. But I do think that in this region where I believe the referees do let you get away with more, it's not so bad the way he plays, because, like I said, I think the refs do let you get away with more in this region. And Damion Lowe, I think in his kind of, in the, I wouldn't say quite the latter stages of his career, but a player who at this point has a lot of experience. And yeah, I guess you could say latter stages, 31, realistically, how many more years can Damion Lowe play at like the top level? That will probably just depend on how well he takes care of himself and if he can avoid major injury. But I do think that I have seen, a little more guile and know-how in how he defends lately. It's not just, I'm just going to take out everything in front of me and I will be able to just get enough of the ball to where I don't get a red card. I do think that he is trying to kind of pick his spots a bit better. And I think, while I don't believe he's as accomplished passing the ball as a Pinnock or a Latibodier out the back, or Bernard, or even a Richard King, to be honest. It's similarly to with Blake, I have seen some improvement. I just think that he just needs to believe in his teammates sometimes. I don't believe that if he sees a player who could receive a short pass and might not be, 1000% free, he's just not going to take the chance and he's going to go long. And I remember even in a game at the stadium recently where, a couple of midfielders showed for the ball. Maybe they were under a slight little, half pressure behind them, but they wanted to receive and try to play. And he went long. And I remember, I think Bobby and another player in midfield looking like, hey, what you doing? And he said, look, I'm not taking the chance, and in a way, some fans would be like, good, don't take the chance, because there's a less chance we concede because we just kicked away the ball. But they're not thinking about that constant defensive discipline you have to have. If you keep giving the ball away, and only defending, eventually You're gonna have that one time where you don't switch on all the way for the entire time and you concede a goal. So you want to always try to keep the football. The best form of defense is not even necessarily attack, but just having possession of the football. They cannot score on us if we have the ball. Simple. Yeah, but we're not good. Started off poor his first 5 games or so, but he's been very good last couple of weeks. Yeah, he has had an uptick in his form. And I guess when you go over to Saudi Arabia, I mean, I know he did play in Egypt at one point, which not exactly the same, but I'm sure there could be some similarities between the whole setup and everything. I'm sure the Saudi league more than likely is, even though he said Egypt wasn't really a issue with the money and stuff, but yeah, I'm not sure. I don't want to speculate. I don't know how either one is, but I'm just thinking the climate is similar, I would think. So yeah, and I know that's not something that would affect Jamaicans too much. El Meeks, bless up. Yeah, man, blessings. Bless up Owen, how you deal with? Bernard wasn't at fault for the goals, but if you concede 6 and you're in defense, what have you done to organize and instruct? You cannot be blame free. Yeah. He I think he really got docked in that game for the penalty. I noticed on SofaScore, if you give up a penalty, errors leading to goals, errors leading to shots, penalty committed, like those really slash your score a lot. It's hard to get high. I mean, you'd have to have like a wicked game to still get, over 6 if you give up a penalty as a defender. Big up Stephen Lloyd. Respect for being here. Smash the like button. Sneak your Bernard in there. Low playing too good. Stop it. Yo, so Bernard can't even make the squad. I'm talking about all the CBs. We have talked about Pinnock. We've talked about Bernard. We're talking about Lowe now. There's a few others I want to discuss at this position as well. One saying Bernard has to be in there. Him say, I don't think Lowe deserves to lose his place in the 11 though. Okay. Actually, if we went back 3, I would go Bell, Lowe, and Pinnock. Okay, interesting. So I wouldn't go back with the 2 that Halgrimson used in the Nations League. All right. The best statement ever made on Sportsmax was from TNT ex-player. Explained how Jamaica will ever keep the ball, or will never. I think you mean never there. Damn. Was that what's his name? Brent Sancho? It was probably him. I hope we don't just park the bus. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think with Halgrimson, we kind of knew going into the game like it's gonna be a bus parking segment, But with McLaren, I don't know if it's so clear. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure just based on the territorial advantage, at times we're gonna have to, play a low block, But I think the hope is that we don't just, that's not just the game plan, right? And we do feel like we can try to not go toe to toe, but at least give them some kind of threat going the other way. Put some doubt in their mind. Rob Smith said defending and parking the bus are 2 different things. Stop act like you don't know football, my brother. Oh, I'm not sure who you're arguing with. Bless up. Question. The biggest game for the year. Do you know why JFF is having a virtual press conference? I don't believe that. Well, okay. I think determined, to be honest. I do believe that the JFF realizes that they are perhaps not getting the maximum engagement at the press conferences due to the fact that a lot of the people that follow the football are indeed operating outside of the country. And so without the presence of a Zoom link for the press conferences, they in essence are blocking out a large segment of what could contribute to the press conference being more successful. So I think that that's the reason why they have decided to do that. Plus, making it available to be viewed via Zoom does not mean that it can't still be broadcast the way they were doing it before. There will just be an added component where they would have access to more questions from the media at large outside of Jamaica that wants to cover it. So if Sky Sports wants to send somebody to the virtual meeting to ask Steve McLaren a question, that can happen. I think we are probably thinking so much about, that mean Ryan can go in the show and Jason Gooner and we max it and Cranky. And if I am the JFF, I'm not thinking about me and those people. I'm thinking about Sky Sports or goal.com or whoever that might be interested in talking to Steve McLaren about Jamaica versus USA. You know what I'm saying? So it's and we're playing the USMNT, so that could have played a part as well. Like the correspondent from ESPN would like to be there virtually for the press conference. Maybe our girl Alexis Nunes turns up to ask a question. So I think it's a good look. And I'm not even saying it from a selfish point of view, because yes, I will have a chance to be there and I'm happy. But I think it's if there's a bunch of people in there, and I think it's gonna add to the quality of the whole thing, having the virtual option personally. So I like that they're doing it. The timing is it is the biggest game of the year, that's true, but why not do it in this biggest game of the year? The most eyes will be around, so make it as big as possible. We need to be compact and close together. Just keep the gap between defense and midfield small, and front midfield small, and front line and midfield small. Do what Inter did to Arsenal, boy. If Jamaica can defend how Inter did, then they can win. Believe me, because Inter, I never see a team so comfortable. Like, it's like the man them decide to defend and you can't even cuss them because they're so good at it. we couldn't do anything. Anytime it looked like it was going to do something, them block it, them clear it, them in the way, them have too many bodies around the ball, something. That was literally that's a case study in how you defend right there. Very good defending from them, for real. With Lowe, 0.5 goals given up. Without him, 2.5 in league play. So man gone in at the low metrics with him club. Okay. Jamaica will never keep the football with certain CB, point blank, period. Okay. So are you saying that the Sportsmax guy actually, that was a part of his explanation? Certain CB will not keep the ball? Let me know, because I didn't see that segment with Brent Sancho, because I'm pretty sure it was him. I know he's a former player who's always there. But if you're just on the edge of your box with no plan to get out, that's parking the bus. Yeah. You have to have a plan to keep the ball when you win the ball. Have to. Can't just be defend, clear, defend, clear. No. We should start King. He is the future. Stephen Lloyd, in my squad that I'm about to pick, King is so far in my future that he's not even in the present. Because I don't have him in my 23. Because I'm not doing what they do every time and pick 10 defenders and then don't have no options in the midfield. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. Not comfortable under pressure. Rob was talking about Pinnock. I'm not sure. Definitely, but then you just invite pressure, you can compact. All three CB are playing good, says Chorus. Bernard is always in my squad. Yeah, Beldo's playing a back three predominantly. That is true. We have a few defenders that play a lot in a back three. I mean, even Deshaun Bernard plays in a back three from time to time with Wednesday. I think even yesterday it was a back three. Or not yesterday, Tuesday. So that's Damion Lowe. As I said, he started out a bit rough out there, but I would say since he's played, the 3 games he had after the window been really good. So good job. Gonna watch him again Saturday. Make sure him get through that game clear. But as long as that is the case, I would have Damion Lowe and Bernard in my team. So I'm gonna add D Lowe Now there is room now for me one more centre back. Now remember what I said about the parameters for this squad, right? I want to make sure that obviously we have 4 centre back. We can play centre back. I need to have 2 players in the defense that can play right back, 2 players that can play left back. Now the next centre back that I want to talk about is one that was in the squad the last time, and I think it's just going to be important to look and see. And he did divide opinion amongst the fan base when he got his chances the last time in the last window. But what I want to show you guys is what he's been up to at his club since the window. So as you can see, he played on the 14th. Now, didn't get a chance to see the field again until the 26th. But in this game on the 26th, as you can see, he came on early. I think it was in the first half he came on. No, he came on late for Ajayi, who was injured, right? And I remember when this happened and he got the game, I was saying, okay, I did some research and I saw Ajayi would kind of be out for a few weeks or whatever the case was. And I noticed that Paddy McNair, the other centre back that game, also went down with an injury that game. So I said, okay, perhaps, this could be the start of something as far as his game time is concerned. So then on the 1st of November now, when they played Luton, I was looking out for this because I saw Amari get his first game back, which was very exciting. And then Mason Holgate as well started at centre-back and played all 90 minutes. Then I know they're playing today. They're playing right now, actually. So what I wanted to check, I haven't checked this yet, people. So Mason Holgate started again at centre-back. So that's about to be, 2 running with 90 minutes. Basically getting his chance, due to some injuries to the back line. Let's just check the bench. Yeah, so Ajayi is still out, and the other centre back that was playing next to him is out as well, Paddy McNair. So, he's definitely going to be getting his chances now. As you see, Devante Cole on the bench. He recently started to get back some game time after playing some games actually in the PL2 just to stay fit for parts of this season. So, Mason Holgate, people, divided opinion, as I said. I mean, came on in the first game, didn't really have that much time on the pitch. Got a 6.6 in his limited time. I think he came on in the 70th minute in this game. 75th minute for Lati, they played midfield actually in this game. And then in the second game, he actually started at centre back with Ethan Pinnock. Definitely the first half for me was not the best. Had an error leading to a shot in the first half. But I thought, people were just pretty much had given up on him from that point. But I thought the improvement in his game from that first to second half was very marked. A marked improvement as far as I'm concerned. I just think that if he's there to defend, we don't concede a goal. He himself, defensive-wise, like 1v1s, getting in position to make clearances, things of that nature, he was spot on. So if we're getting him to defend, I thought that perhaps he was a bit trigger happy with his long passes that he was trying. But I think it was also a byproduct of, and you saw the game, Honduras just had us figured out in midfield. David Flores, Kevin Arriaga, the strikers, the wide players, they were just kind of closing us down when we tried to play out. So, I think it wasn't just on the defenders in that game in terms of going long, personally. There were some situations where I think, I think it says he attempted 13 long passes. I would say that could have been cut to about 7. He did have, I'd say, 5 to 6 where he kind of forced it. He didn't need to do it. But I thought defensively he was really good. And if a part of the reason why maybe we didn't see the best of him in possession was just not playing games. When he came before the last time, I mean, just look at it. This is leading up to the last window, people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 championship games just sitting on the bench doing nothing. Yeah, I mean, he hadn't played. He literally had not played. So, since that was the case, then surely after playing some games now, playing 90 minutes at least at the championship level, match fitness will be much better. Playing a game today. So, let me just see. I think they might have one more this weekend. Let me just make sure. West Brom. Yeah, so they play Sunday against Hull. So that's against Casey's team. So we'll see. If he can, well, we'll have to find out Saturday. So they won't be waiting till Sunday. But if I'm the coach, I'm watching the game today and I'm seeing what his match fitness looks like. And as long as he gets through this game fine with no injury, I'm putting him on the squad as well. Another reason why I like him in the squad is another player that can fill multiple spots. I think he could play a role in the CDM, especially if you're playing with a double pivot and maybe one is advancing a little bit more. Then he could be the one that you kind of make sure sits a little deeper throughout the game. So yeah, I think, and he also can play right back. So he checks a few other boxes, and I am of the school that his last window with us, where somewhere like thanks for your services, give me back your passport. I'm not gonna say I'm on the complete opposite side where I'm like you're a savior to us or anything, but I just don't think it was nearly as bad as what people made it out to be his last window. So for me, I would bring him back in the squad, especially due to the fact that we're seeing some match fitness actually happening for him now. So those would be my quote unquote 4 center backs that I'm choosing. Now the next thing I want to do is discuss the right backs, right? So we have had basically one right back that has been a staple in the Jamaica Reggae Boyz setups, I would say, for the better part of about 12 months or so, maybe more than that, like 18 months now, and that is Dexter Lembikisa. I think he's been like the most probably played, one of the players that have probably made the most appearances in that time of any reggae boy, right? And the main thing with Dexter is to just figure out what really is going on with him at his club now. I think it's been 2 windows in a row now where we have seen a slightly different looking Dexter for Jamaica. And I think it's pretty much down to, just not being as sharp as he would have been in, prior to coming for previous windows where he's had such good performances for Jamaica. Cuba was the last time we saw him playing for Jamaica. He did play in the Honduras game as well. I forgot. Yeah, he played in the home game in Jamaica, played 90 minutes, yeah. And held his own, but as still didn't look like the Dexter that we know that we're capable of getting, right? But since he's been back to club, as you can see, it has been a mixed bag for him. So didn't get any game time in the first game back, came off the bench in this game and this game, so hasn't been able to start. Or let me check, because he could have been start and come off. Yeah, so he's been starting. Well, he started this one. Let me see if he started the next one against Lausanne. I think he did. Yeah, so he made 2 starts, and he came off in both games. And so far in the Swiss Super League, only made 3 appearances. He started all 3, but he's only averaging 49 minutes per game in those starts. No goals and no assists so far. And he looks to be playing, a much more attacking role in this team that he's moved to, pretty much on that right-hand side. But, this could just be a mistake, because it's like both of these guys were playing over here. But yeah, he's definitely playing more of our wing-back role, or a right midfield role, I would say, than a true right-back since he's been to this club. So that's something to look out for. I mean, it's kind of similar to what we saw with him at Hearts. He was playing a lot of advanced roles on the right-hand side, in a similar type of system, like a 5-back system or a 3-back with the wing-back system. So yeah, he can play both, but has been playing a little more attacking. But what do you guys think, people, about Dexter? Are you guys okay with Dexter in the team right now? Do you think he's playing enough? Do you think that he just has enough credit in the bank with the Reggae Boyz and just, is a part of the team setup at this point? So we kind of work with him even if he's not fully fit, as long as he's not even fully fit, but if he's not getting the game time we would like, is he one of those players that, once he's available, we should just bring him because we know the potential and what he can do when he's at his best? Let me know. Bernard is having a way better season than Damion Lowe. We have such low standards for local players. Play a few game good, and that's it. Big up Jean-Pierre. Bernard 23-24. He's the future of our backline. True. You have no threat. Yep. Slice open. That is true. I don't know, to be honest. I didn't watch Low, so can't comment. But all the red cards don't sound good. Bernard has been poor for most of this season, though. Recently has been a bit better. I wouldn't say for most of the season he's been poor. I would say he's had more good performances than poor ones. Like the poor ones stand out more than the good ones. You know what I mean? Because when you look at his stats overall, most of them are good. Different systems require different attributes. Look at the player's full range of abilities and how it actually impacts the team going forward. Bernard fits in way more systems than Lowe. Now that is factual. He had good games, and I've reported on it. Okay. The key is small gaps between each section of the team. Inter reported it to us last season. Close together to the nice space to play. Okay, so it's not that you don't want Lee to play, you just want him to play higher up. Okay. Big up Conrad. What go on? Yeah, man, I'm starting today. Oh, the screen wasn't sharing? Damn. That's my bad. I was looking at this. I was just on Dexter's thing. Well, before I was looking at Mason, but I was on Dexter's thing. So he's in the Swiss Super League on loan with Everton Sport FC. And I was just showing that since the last window, the Nicaragua window and Honduras window, he has played 2 of the 4 games, starting these two, but has been hooked quite early in both. And he's playing a little more advanced in the system with this club. So yeah, if you look at their last game that he did play on the 29th, they got 3-0 from Lasson, and I think he was subbed off right at halftime in this one. And this is where how they had him lined up. So he pretty much was on that right-hand side, but obviously they were pinned back. So he had some touches way back and also up the pitch, one in the opposing box as well. But yeah, this is 45 minutes, 8 for 12, 20 touches, 1 of 4 long pass, 1 shot off target, hit the woodwork as well in this one. He did miss a big chance. So he hit the woodwork with the big chance. 1 aerial out of 1, 0 for 3 on the ground. He lost the ball 8 times out of those 20 touches, and he had 2 clearances, and he was dribbled past once. So 6.3 could have been more, should have been more, because he should have converted the chance, but 45 minutes. Basically, I think both games he started and came off at halftime. Let me double check, though. He might have lasted a little longer in this one. Yeah, he did. Yeah, so he played until the 70th minute in the first one. So 70 minutes, 45 minutes, sandwiched between 2 games where he didn't get on the pitch. So, indifferent, up and down type of form, but yeah, I don't know, man. He has a lot of credit in the bank for me. And I feel like, as more the season goes, the more in the groove he'll get, the better fitness he'll have. So for now, I'm going to leave it alone. But you guys let me know in the comment section, is Dexter in your 23? Playing isn't a requirement, though. Yeah, at time it's not. For certain players, like to share the same attributes. Okay. Yeah, that's a good shout, people. So you will have noticed we haven't gotten to midfield yet, but I don't really count Joel as a midfielder. I know he plays there for us, but I think he's best on the back line. But I think for the needs of this team right now, I'm gonna say Latibo there might have to just be in my right back pool. You know, again, since I'm kind of on the fence on the system, whether it's gonna be a 3 or a 4 or 4 or a 5, I wanted some of these defenders to have a little bit of versatility. So we have a Holgate in the centre back pool who can play right back. We have a player like Latibo there who can play right back, centre back. The coach plays him at central midfield at times. But for me, Latibo there, this season so far, I would say he's probably of the players that play centre back out there, he's probably the third best right now. Because I would say he's been more consistent than Lowe this season. Because it's been a longer time that he's actually been playing games. Because right when the season started, he's been out there playing. Played 11, started 10 of them, 78 minutes per game, so getting quality time as well on the pitch. Clean sheet, let's see, hasn't made any errors or committed any penalties that led to a shot or a goal. Almost a little under 3 ball recoveries a game, 2.5 clearance a game, and he only has 3 yellows, no reds on the season as well. So again, another thing, I think, again, we're talking about technical players who can help us against what we know is going to be a synchronized and heavy pressure from the United States forward line. We want to maximize the technical players. This is one of the most technical players we have that can play defense. His passing stats, passing metrics, again, to maximize reaction time against your opponent, heighten the accuracy of your passing to your teammate, right? Technical players will give the player receiving the ball more time to react and, time to make their decision before they're pressured so much to where they lose the ball. So Joel Latibo there, for me, gets into the squad as a utility player. I'm going to, for the purpose of this exercise, put Latibo there as a right back, but we all know that Lats can play multiple positions, right? So I'm just going to say Lati because his name is very long on the screen. All right, so Lati. So since Lati is in my right back pool, really only leaves, because I have a Holgate in the squad who can play right back as well. So I kind of have right back covered, but I want maybe one specialist right back, one that is there because he's a right back. So for me, the argument becomes between Dexter Lembikisa and Tavon Gray. Those two names for me are the ones that I would say in terms of like what I've seen, because even though it's my 23, I want to make sense as well. So, of course, the likes of Alvis Powell, Javane Brown, we know they've represented the country before. And even Javane Brown has been doing well since he went to Salt Lake. They were in the playoffs. Did get knocked out by Minnesota, 2 penalty shootouts, so it wasn't really like they got murdered there. But he has predominantly been playing center back for Salt Lake. If you look at the playoffs, I think one of the games he played right back, but most of his recent appearances have been where is he? So he played right back the last time. I think in this first one he didn't play right back though, because I saw the highlights of this one and the other one. Let me see. Yes, he played center back in this one. So he's been kind of used in both slots. And actually, surprisingly, I had never really seen him play center back in the MLS in a back 4. So this was kind of new for me to even see him play in this position. I know that's what he used to play when he was in the youth system of Jamaica. He was always a center back. But, since he's gone to the MLS, they've kind of converted him to the right back spot. And it looks like that's where he plays normally, to be honest. But what I like about the close of this season for Javane Brown is the games have gotten progressively bigger for this team, and he's kind of worked his way into the lineup, and by the playoffs, he was starting. So kudos to him for kind of getting to this team midway in the season and like working his way into the coach's thoughts and things, because he only got there in the end of July. And, he came, it took him a little while to get game time. It wasn't until the 24th of August. And then after that, now he was getting time, had some bench moments. But in this crunch of October, when the games have gotten bigger and bigger, we have seen Javane be able to stamp his place in the team. So I have to give him his credit. For me, I think it's almost a case of, for me, I wouldn't put him in, but he was close. He was in my thoughts, people. That's why I wanted to give him his time and show what he's going on with. Alvas Powell, don't think in my team he was as close as Javane was to making it. But Alvas also has been having a decent year. The only knock for me on Alvas at this point in his career, it seems like Cincinnati more so using him as a player off the bench. Nothing wrong with that. You get game time in the MLS. That's wonderful. MLS is not a soft soap place to play football, so I get that. But yeah, he this has been pretty much his role. Yedlin gets tired and he comes in for Yedlin. In the 2 playoff games, as you can see, they have the third game to play. I think the third game is going to be probably Saturday evening. And I know that Tavon Gray got the red here. So I wonder if he will be suspended for the next game they have. Because they play a game Saturday before they travel. So I'm kind of wondering, like, how long. Because there's different rules in different leagues, I don't know if it's 1 or 2 games he's suspended for, but we'll find out Saturday. Maybe somebody in the comments can tell me. But Alvas was another one that I kind of looked on, but I thought of the 2 that I was kind of looking to see who could come back, I always had Javane just a little bit higher. The age difference, and I just think that Javane at this stage in his career can probably give us a little bit more right now than Alvas, and we have quite a bit of experienced players too. So if you are bringing Alvas in, it would be kind of for that reason. And I feel like we have some decent experience in the team already. So it's not like we're yearning for that or anything. So Alvas and Javane close, but not quite there. So for me right now, let me just look. So I have Lati, and I am gonna put Dexter Lembikisa. Look, I think he's fit enough. I would love for him to be playing more for sure. But I am comfortable in the other players in the team that if he's not fit enough to give me 2 games in a row, I have ample cover to play, from the start instead of him if we can't play him for both games. And who knows, maybe the system won't require Dexter to start. Maybe he does play with 3 center backs as the starting setup, and he goes with a different option on the right, or maybe he goes with Dexter on the right in a setup where Dexter can be a little more advanced, kind of similar to what we saw in the Nations League when we played Panama, in that game in particular, scoring that goal from a more advanced role. So yeah, a couple ways you can spin it, but for me, I would have Dexter and Joel as my 2 right back options. I would drop Tavon Gray for this window, and this is my 23. So nobody don't beat me too much, but again, I'm thinking that we have some different ways we can do our midfield. We don't need Joel to be playing midfield. As far as I'm concerned, we have enough options playing midfield regularly around their leagues. Or even if they're not playing, we just have some midfielders that I think can come in and do a job. So I'm going to say that's what we can go with. Now, Tavon Gray, it's probably a bit harsh on Tavon, to be honest, because I think this has been one of his more consistent seasons in the MLS. 7 assists, so definitely getting that side of his game up and running this season as well. But I do think that, it's he had a good game against Nicaragua. Can't take that from him. And some would argue most times he plays for Jamaica, it's a decent enough performance, right? But I just feel like for right this moment, he's just on the outside for me. I feel comfortable with having Holgate in the team, Dexter in the team, Joel in the team. One of those 3 players can play that right back role for me. Obviously, we have one in Dexter that's been playing a more attacking role for club. So some of the attributes that I'd want Gray to bring, because for me, Latibeaudiere and Holgate are better defenders than Gray. So if we're going defensive in that position, I'd rather one of those two play. Now, if we need someone to go and attack, I think Dexter offers a bit more in attack than Tavon Gray does. So, where does Tavon fit in the team then? If I'm going defensive, I have options I think is better than him. And if I'm going attacking, I have options that I think is better than him. So that's why for me, he's just on the outside looking in. He's the closest of the ones who didn't make it. Of course, I said Javane didn't make it. Alvas didn't make it. But Tavon, I thought, was really close. And up to right before this video, he was in there. But when I really broke down everything and got to the positions and everything, Tavon just missed out for me. So, yeah. So that's what I have so far. So let me flip over and show you guys what's going on so far. Let me get this off the screen. Remember, like the video, people. Like the video. We're now on an hour and 20 minutes, so we're gonna have to start to kind of move with a little more speed, because I do want to get through all 23 players. But this just goes to show, like, the conversation has to be very in depth when you're doing this type of stuff. It can't be surface level. You have to measure all kind of metrics and variables. So hopefully by the time my 23 is out, you know that it wasn't just me writing 23 names. Like, I thought about all kind of stuff, Yeah, man, I drop the squad, Eddie. This is the squad. Yeah, so I see the chat getting active now. People them having them discussions and debates. But yeah, it's so I see somebody bring up Wes Harding in the chat. People, Wes Harding, I don't know where he is. I've been searching and searching and searching every week. But he's saying he's still at Millwall, but I don't know. Like, could have fooled me. This man don't see the field from like August in the EFL Cup, and he's been on the bench every game in October and still can't get the field. So I think the last game they played, I don't even know if he was on the bench for this one. But there's been a few games he wasn't even on the bench too. So it's been a weird one with West, man. Ever since Copa, the man can't play no football no more. Yeah, I actually agree with you, Eddie. I don't believe he's 5'11" either. I think that's one of those, like, I remember which basketball player it was. I think like one of those guards was like listed. I think Iverson was 6 foot listed. That guy was no more than 5'10". And like I've seen it, like I was standing up beside him, and I know he's not that tall. He might even be 5'9". Yeah, me see the. Yeah, I mean, logic, I get it. No to Javane, but he's doing something. He's playing. I mean, he's playing football. He's doing a lot more than some people. Some people want other players in the team that don't play. Even me, because I'm gonna have a player that I'm about to talk about that don't play, but I'm putting him in my squad. So I am basing it off of what I know of the player from before. Nothing more, because I can't pull up a stat and tell you he's been doing this or that. So is it hypocritical? Sure, but drastic times call for drastic measures, and I think it's a drastic situation in certain areas of the pitch. I agree he should be considered, and I considered him. Yeah, I did. Yeah, he could get a call up. I just wouldn't call him. Logic one say Javane is to Jamaica what Mings is to Villa. Yeah, Mings do some bonehead things, and then him come back now after this long injury and do that yesterday. Not sure if I would call Alvas, but if we are playing 3 at the back, he's a better wing back than Gray and Brown. 4 at the back, big no. Okay. So at least Rob have some context to it now. If say if it's a certain system, Alvas is a yes. But if not, then yeah, okay, fair enough. Conrad go a step further and say JFF not going to allow that. Wow. Big up Pastor Blake. Manners and respect. Thank you for joining and being here. Didn't we pick 25 last time? What is my Discord? Want to say I don't want a call-in section? Jano. Yeah, what going with Kova? Good question. This was another player that I was considering. Predominantly playing right back. Well, kind of right midfield as well. If you see his heat map pretty much anywhere down that right side, but he's becoming more of a side player in his competition that he's playing currently in League Two. Whether it's right back or right midfield, you know, he's playing one of those roles. As you can see, getting goals as well. Had a FA Cup game that they lost to Barnsley. He did play and he picked up a yellow card. So this was last weekend actually. Yeah, he played right wing back, right midfield basically. And they did lose 3-1. This is against championship opposition. But you see who his manager is, right? Darren Moore. So yeah, Darren Moore has been pretty much using him in that role right there on the right hand side. Very similar to what he was playing with Leicester when he got the first team opportunity last year, and also with the PL2 team. The PL2 was mainly playing back four, right back, but when he moved up and played for the first team, he was playing in this system. You know, Maresca. Well, last year he was playing that three back system, and he was getting his opportunity then. So yeah, Brandon Cover. For me, he's close. He's very, very close. Can he get into that midfield tandem? You know, for me, I think because of where he's playing right now, I don't know if I would pick him there. I would more so pick him to play in the right back pool. And again, is Brandon Cover better right now than Dexter going forward? He's playing more consistent minutes. So this, for me, I wouldn't pick Brandon Cover right now as a midfielder. I know that's what we've kind of met him as and we saw him as, but I don't see him playing that role right this second. So yeah, I'm not sure. We're gonna come back to Brandon Cover, but let me just do this. Real quick. I'm going to finish out the defense because we spend a lot of time on the defense. So I have Dexter Lembikisa Latibo there. Left back, I am bringing Amari Bell to the party. I think he's fine and can play, and I'm bringing Greg Lee. Right, so I'll have Greg Lee and I'll have Amari Bell as my left back options. Both versatile. I think if you're going a little more defensive style, I think Amari to me gets a slight edge. Not that Greg can't defend, but I think Greg is a little bit better going forward. I think he's more comfortable in attacking areas, even though I think Amari Bell is more technical as a player. So that's kind of a weird combination. But Amari Bell, I think, settling into that left-sided centre-back role in a 3, but also extremely comfortable as just the main left-back. He has played that for years as well in a back 4. So can do both. I think Greg Lee as well can play both. I think Greg thrives a bit more if it's a back 3 and he plays on that left-hand side a little more advanced than Bell would if you played him in that role. I think Bell has the potential, if it's a back 3, to actually start in the back 3. So that is the difference there. Now, let's move into what I think is going to be very difficult and contentious right now, and that's the midfield. So personally, without bringing up anything on the screen, let me just do this. So I have my 8 defenders. I have my 3 goalkeepers, so we're up to 11. So that leaves 12 more slots, people. 12 more slots to fill out the 23. So let's get the tactical pad on screen, right? And we're just going to fill out the squad. So we need a CDM, people. We need a CDM. Call out some name, people. We need a CDM. Let me know a CDM. Call some name. Is it too soon for Hayden? No. My same name, but I don't have nothing to pull up. I can pull up him Instagram post when him there in the stadium. And remember, Martin, I have Joel in the team already, you know. I mean, I'm a defender list. So Joel is spoken for. We can't talk about Joel again. I'm already in the team. So one giving the edge to Bell. Don't trust Lee as much defending 1v1. Okay. Fair enough. That's where he played for Jamaica. So he's a right back. Kova was playing midfield when he was playing for Jamaica. What are you talking about? He was playing midfield in that competition when it was like Ronaldo Webster and Krista J. Daly and I forget the other players who were there. I think Anglin was there as well playing midfield with him. Yeah, he was playing midfield for sure. No doubt about it. He wasn't playing right back. So I see some. So Young King say Hayden have water knee. Him no good. All right. So we have two Hayden. One same have water knee. Andre Moore said Lewis Baker. Chorus, I look for a surprise. Caribbean Sea say one Black God. I have call up Black God. Oh, his senior call up in Austria. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. He came on and played right back in that game. Yo, I don't think you're right, you know, Rob Smith. From where they set things and me a challenge you and me wrong, you know. But you see that one, yeah? I wrong that one, yeah, brother. I wrong that one, yeah. Because if you talk about it, your Austria time, when we played Jordan, I believe him get the game. And he came on and played midfield. He didn't play right back. I know him never play right back because Javane was playing that game, and when Amari Bell and John Russell came off, it was Kova and Dexter that came on, and it was just basically a straight swap. Dexter did play left back, and Kova did go in a midfield with Lambert and Phillips basically, and DJ did in a midfield too. Yeah, man, Rob. Another time, yeah, Rob. Not this time. No, we not have to put Hayden, brother. But we not put Latibo there in a midfield again. I ain't doing it, bro. Yeah, man, not this time, Rob. Him never play right back. Not this time. As a matter of fact, you know, I know that he never play right back because it's not until Leicester start using him there that I even see him playing there. When he was getting PL2 minutes, at first he was playing midfield, and then out of the blue, we see them start using him at right back. Then him get a first team chance at right wing back or right midfield, whatever you want to call it. All right, so one player though that I do think needs to be back in the squad. I don't understand how this man get called up and never get no games or nothing. You know, it used to be justified, to be honest. Well, not even justified, but people could say, boy, I'm not really get so much game at him club either. but you can't really say that lately. I think that whatever, I don't know what's happened between, recently with him and the coach or whatever the case is, but, all of a sudden, John Russell is like a staple in this man's lineup now. He started the last 3 games, playing all the games, started in the FA Cup game as well. So really, including the league, he has had starts in the last 4 games for his club. And I can't remember for the life of me when last since I've been tracking John Russell, I've seen that at club level, where he's had such a consistent run of starting games for his club. So, it seems like maybe some of the off-season workout that we saw him doing and stuff, trying to get his speed up and get his fitness just to like this peak level, it might be paying off because, and another thing that I've noticed lately too, he has been used in multiple areas of the midfield. So, one game he was stationed right in behind the striker. Another one he was, playing in the 6 role by himself. Another game he was in a double pivot in the CDM role. So, can play all levels of the midfield too. And I honestly feel like, just due to the fact that he's super tall, people just want to make him a CDM. Not saying he can't play there, but I feel like, he's even better as a box-to-box, even an attacking midfielder, because I think his vision is really what is something that can unlock the game for people. So, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm talking about John Russell, and that's who I'm talking about putting in the team. So, John Russell is going to make my 23-man squad. J. Russell. I think he's made squads before with way less game time at his club, and he's getting game time now, so we're putting him in the team. Casey Palmer also makes the team for me. I'm no questions asked about that one. Now, in midfield, people, I also know that I'm going to have Bobby Reid. Now, Bobby Reid has not been getting the game time that we want, but let's be totally honest here, people. We are not really working with Brazil, England, France levels of player pools in terms of just having all these players to just say, if a man doing decent, him there, whatever the case is, So Bobby Reid gets in there for me. Casey Palmer, since moving to Hull, I've seen him even play deeper in the system. He played deeper in the system the last game. So, maybe the coach at Hull sees something that I don't see, because I think he needs to be playing attacking midfield. But okay, that's a few coaches now that's trying him deeper in the system. So, they have badges and I don't. So maybe I need to stop acting like I know more than them. Casanova from Tottenham. Definitely one that they need to be keeping an eye on. I think recently got his first didn't he get some time in the Europa League, or he never even came on the field? He might not have entered the field, Yeah, I don't think he came on, but he's at least making benches now for these Europa League fixtures, which is good. Tottenham having a bit of a crisis as well in centre backs right now, so who knows? Maybe a couple more people go down. We might actually get to see him play some first team football in the Premier League even. So yeah, I think we definitely need to keep watching the player. Looks to have converted full time now to centre back. I know he was a midfielder at one point, but looks like he's moved all the way back to the centre back role now. So we'll keep tracking his progress, because we know any player that played midfield at any point, we need to watch him, because there's a chance. Now, does anyone know if Dejan Sterling has a passport? I watched him play today. I don't think he has one, because I think he would have been in my right back pool. He didn't come on. I was just checking to make sure, because I saw him warming up one time. I said, yeah, I know. Yeah, Casey coach, me see I play him deep the last game. I said, what is? Yeah, the selection tricky, bro. Because I want to make a rule like, boy, you have to play football. You have to play football. Yo, Chris, you see all right. Chris, you know what I want to do, bro? I want to figure out a way, right? for like, you see all of them players, because Chris, you know, a lot of the ball of them, you know, similar to me, you know. And we need to find out a way for like let the player them like let us know like if they're ready actually to play. Because a lot of times, you know, whenever I talk to anybody that might be able to let me know about players or whatever the case is, the first question they always ask me is, do you know if they have the documentation? Do you know if they and I hate to be like, I want to know that they have it. If I'm bringing a suggestion to people, I want to know that if they reach out, they can just actually get the players to play. You know what I'm saying? Let me be able to have the ammunition to say, JFF, Uno are the foolishness. These guys have their passport. Call them up. Why are they not calling them up? But without that proof, I can't beat them for that. So them can always hide behind that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, them not have them paperwork, you know? So Chris, we need for like nail down some of them people and find out so that we know. So when we talk about Miles Pierre-Tarish, Dejan Brown, who me know have a passport, Dejan Brown. Nobody can tell me nothing. Me know Dejan Brown have it. And again, yeah, I know Ethan said he's looking about it, right? But at the same way, Mason I look about Femon, and the same way Reese was supposed to be looking about Femon. So we need for know like when it's over the line. Like them need for, I don't know how it could have worked, but them need for like let people know. Like people like you know, people like me know, people like We Max it know, people like Cranky know. Anybody we're out here and really trying to look at the players objectively and not to watch address and them foolishness there. Yeah, man, we need for everybody need to know the actual status of these players. So that when people push back and say, oh no, just want to be a man, we can't ever play for we can say, oh no, we actually have proof that the man have it. Look, see it here? See the man post it here? Boom, boom, boom. Or maybe that's it. You tell the players, yo, when they get the thing start, want to post it. Just Instagram, put it in a story, Jamaica citizen holder or passport holder, whatever the case is. Yeah. Because I think that is a excuse a lot of the times. You know, people just assume them don't have it. Or, you know, that's why. But a lot of times they have it and we just don't reach out to the players. I won't even say a lot of times. Sometimes them have it and we just don't reach out to the players. Big up Leroy Smart, big up yourself. I saw your footage the other day when you went to the Charlton game. That was a good look. Sad that Kaim never get a chance for run out, but yeah, that's awesome that at least, you know, you went and go show the fans what it's like and what's going on. To get a debut, you should be playing football. If you're already a contributor, what you do at your club is less important. Yeah, I mean that's a fair way to look at it, Rob Smith. But I think even deeper than that, you know, is like if there's an area of the field where we have tried like a million things, and I don't think anybody is supremely happy with any of those solutions we have tried. You know, one of them was a stopgap that worked once, and people just went overboard, and we saw it 20 more times in a row, and it just wasn't going to work. Another thing we've seen is, okay, this player is just a good player, so let's just play him deeper in the system. No, he's not a deep line midfielder, but it doesn't matter. He's a good player, so let's just play him deeper in the system. So we've tried these solutions, right? Look, again, the reason why I titled this JGTV Reggae Boyz Squad Preview and JGTV 23-man squad is because it's my damn squad. So as unrealistic as it might be to some or whatever, I don't care. If it was up to me, I would call this guy right here, Isaac Hayden. Yeah, I know I've said earlier that Dexter doesn't look so good because he wasn't playing so much in the last windows. I know that I have talked about, you know, the reason why I wouldn't put, what's his name, Alvas Powell in the team is mainly because he's a substitute player now and not a starter. You know, I've had a lot of arguments that are contrary to me putting Hayden in the team. But I'm telling you, drastic times call for drastic measures. And we have not figured out this position, this deeper line midfield position. We have not figured it out. I believe that with his experience level and also just, you know, his just his overall experience as a footballer, he'll be able to figure it out on the fly. Right? The one thing I worry about for Hayden is I know that the local crowd can be extremely unforgiving. So I wouldn't be surprised if, he's met with a bit more colorful welcome than some of the other players that might play on the day. And that's due to the fact that people might know the history of Hayden and what his comments were in regards to representing Jamaica and all these things. So, yeah, that's the one thing I would worry about, right? Give this guy his home debut in front of what can be a volatile crowd at times in such a big game against the USA. It's a crazy scenario, right? But again, I will say it again. Drastic times call for drastic measures. And that's my drastic measure, people. I am bringing in a player who hasn't played consistently since the end of May when he was at his previous club, QPR, on loan. But yeah, I'm just going to say he's professional enough. He's still employed by a club, even though they don't want to use him. I'm sure he has access to their facilities, their trainers, so it's not like he's just been sitting around eating KFC all day. You know what I mean? So I am putting it in the team, Rob Smith, and love it up or whatever. I don't care. You can cuss me all you want. Jason, tell the man that complaining about Holgate to go watch the game. Absolutely, watch the game. We said 3 minutes against Trilton. Okay, cool. Dan say, why pre? Why go on Dan? We're outside, Mm-hmm. Holgate is the second best centre back in Jamaica team. I would give the slight edge to Bernard, my friend, personally. No long ball today because he has options to pass to. He never played long ball in his life, but comes to Jamaica and does it. I don't understand why. Not just because the player. True. Options were limited, How many players have we called that are not playing and they come here and kill it? Damari Gray wasn't really playing that much when he came. He wasn't getting games at Everton. So that's one very recent memory that I can tell you about. If he comes here and doesn't play well, is criticize him or will I get attacked? No, I don't attack anybody for criticizing anybody if it's warranted. I just feel like sometimes the criticisms by some, not necessarily you in particular, Rob, are unwarranted and are only made because it feeds an underlying narrative that they want to push. That's all. That's all. I think honestly though, Rob, if I'm being totally honest, I have seen you like beat both setup. Like I've seen you beat Damion Lowe, not necessarily him personally, but like, local developed players, and I've seen you beat all kind of players. Yeah. There was a time when people told me that you were one way, but the more I've seen you kind of talk, like I don't think you're so one way as people were making it out to be. Yeah, that's the only thing I'm worried about is that local that Jamaica crowd, bro. Once he didn't make a bad pass or whatever, I mean, geez, it'll be tough. No, all right, CC, me just explain why, because of the drastic measures. I don't see any other midfielders playing deep in the midfield that I want to put in the team. I just told you that we can't have one rule, but CC just gonna say anything because I'm not like when we put the man in our team. Martin said we can use angling in here, same change the game. Well, I know that's sarcasm, Martin. Coming from you. Yeah, swamptivity. May I try to break it down, bro? Look, Hayden goes against everything I stand for in midfield. CC, I'm being honest with that. It don't make any sense logically to call Hayden. The only sense it makes is that I've seen all these other people play there and I don't like none of them. So I have this guy who we've been wanting for years. We're getting him later than we wanted him because at the time we wanted him, he was playing every week. He ain't playing every week anymore. But I saw him playing for QPR last time because I wanted to see what he still could do. And he looks just like how he used to look last season. Like he don't look different. So come on. Yeah, but I think, Rob, that goes both ways, because if someone is deemed to be somebody that only beat down the locals and praise everything the English base do, then I don't know what the name for that is. Them bad mind the local youths, you know. And if it's flipped the other way, you get called xenophobic, or people get called xenophobic. So it's just a big circle of foolishness, you know. Like, why we can't just rate the players them regardless? They're all players at the end of the day. If you cut them, then bleed the same, you know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I saw people are just basing it off right. No, but I'm saying I saw him play a good enough sample size in Belgium for the first part of last year and in the championship, and I know that he can still play football at a high level. So I'm okay with calling him. Like, I have enough of a sample size of seeing him play and seeing the others that are capable and eligible to play, and I still would go for Hayden not playing than them. I'm sorry. We have no midfielders. We can't be. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is the only position on the field that I'm even doing this. And it's not because I love Isaac Hayden. It's because Isaac Hayden is probably the best out of all these options that we can use in this defensive midfield. I'm telling you, we need him, like it or not. I'm telling you, bro. Yeah, man, they're all Jamaicans, so criticize everyone. I agree. Lati is not a midfielder. That's why I'm not put him in a midfield. If you look, Lati, right back. You see him position, right back. Me not put him there. Remember me a coach team, you know. Not Grim, not McLaren, not Rob Smith, not Big Deal, not CC, not nobody else. A Jason Gooner team. I mean, I don't even have an assistant. So it's not even like Meron or nobody can tell me nothing. If anything, Uno are my assistant, so I can blame Uno. And anything Uno not like, Uno blame myself. The people, them are hypocrite. All I will say, they beat Tapa for Aka, but welcome a player who's washing plate down at Newcastle. Well, that is actually a fair point. But I think the big difference, though, CC, to be honest with you, let's take a look at Haka, right? So Javon Watson. Javon Watson. Do you know how old Javon Watson is right now? Do you? Anybody venture to guess? Javon Watson is 41 years old. He just turned 41. So that would mean when Tapa called him back into the fold in 2021, September to be exact, Javon Watson would have been, well, his last game for Jamaica in November 21, when we hosted USA in the 1-1, he would have been 38 years old. Do you want to know how old Isaac Hayden is today? And to me, that is a part of the reason why it's a huge difference between the two. Isaac Hayden is 29. He'll be 30 in March of next year. What? And the man actually play a game here. You stay there. The man play a game with you. I mean, not even know say man play. Newcastle U21. The man get a run out. Yeah. Man get a 60-minute. I mean, youth. But yeah, CC, I would say that's a huge difference, you know. 38 and 29. Wow. But hey, look, listen. Me not, and the next thing, you know, if you don't want to beat the coach, can him call Hayden, you know. Me not telling him enough to beat him, you know. Me not telling him enough to beat him, you know. But I just tell you, they only just want disregard levels, you know. Only just want disregard levels, like Haka. But see the reasoning, great. I like that we had the conversation, so I could show you the difference between the two. Haka at that stage of his career was not trying to rejuvenate his career, was not trying to play football again. Tapa just said, yo, I know this guy and I'm just going to put him in the team again. Like, yes, McLaren know this guy and I'm going to put him in the team. But Isaac Hayden have aspirations to get a club in January, continue his career. How can no business? How can it want to just get back in the team for us, drop some more tune? You know, so it was almost like a joke. You know, and kudos to Haka, he did decent, you know, but that wasn't no long-term plan. This actually is a long-term plan. I mean, well, mid-term plan, because you probably want him for this cycle and at least the start of the next one. You know what I mean? But about 34 them time there, maybe that might be enough. You know what I'm saying? But that's the difference. That's the difference. Yeah. But anyway, we have space for one more midfielder, people. One more midfielder. So, all right, me fear. So when I go to fit that one midfielder, yeah, what we need for pick, I'm gonna start a poll. And I'm gonna literally let the poll pick this one midfielder. But I'm gonna give one of the people. I'm gonna give one of the people that I need for pick from though. All right. So let's see. I need to ask a question. I give her two choice because of them choice I me have. You see me? So may I give her the choice, people. I think these two are the ones I've actually dropped Karai Anderson for this window, people. I've dropped Karai Anderson. So I have one more spot for the midfield. And just to recap, right? This is my midfield so far. I've John Russell, Isaac Hayden, Casey Palmer, Bobby Reed, right? I think I should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I really need one more midfielder as well. So I need two more midfielders. So what I'm going to do? Can I add an option? All right. So I need two more midfielders. But this not make sense. If I do a poll with three of them, I only can pick two people. Damn. All right. So here what happened. I jumped the gun. I'm not dropping Karai Anderson. Karai will be coming back. Karai will be coming back into the mix. So I have Karai Anderson, Casey Palmer, Bobby Reed, John Russell, Isaac Hayden. And we have space for one more midfielder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so we need one more midfielder, right? So let me know, people, between these two players, I want you guys to drop your choice in the comment section. Let me get the poll going. So we have Ravel and we have Maggie. Who you picking? So we have one slot left for the midfield, people, and we need a central to attacking midfielder. So let me know where you're going with. Remember, we have 6 space left for the forwards, people. 6 space for the forwards. I don't think Ravel going to lose this one, you know. I think I set Maggie up to not be able to win, to be honest. But maybe not. We're gonna let the people them vote. We're going 17. When it reach about 50 vote. Why? I know this look like Trump and Harris, you know. I don't know if Ravel going to like to be compared to Trump, but it's looking like Trump. But me don't know. Me see enough people that comment Maggie though. Me see Javari say the two of them. I wouldn't take the two of them. I would just pick one of them. Big deal and say cover. But cover never there in there. It's a taxi. Oh no, no left back problem. Yeah, so you're happy with the midfielders we have, CC? Honestly, every time we play a game, we accost the midfield. We have somebody we potentially could have forward and somebody different. Why we don't want to pick him? We don't every time. Every time. No, I put him back. I put him back. So Rob vote Maggie. No, sir. Oh, my team feel look like the team we've been seeing and so much different things in it. Me never call Tavon Gray. Me never call Richard King. Me not have Shaquan Davis in it. Who else me not have in it? Well, me not reach the wing them yet. They say it I go change now. And at that time, you're not gonna see different team. All right, so let me check the poll because it look like Ravel run away with it to Rotted. Yeah, so Ravel win that one, yeah. So Tyreek McGee didn't make the midfield list. I have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Is there not a 18, 17? Okay, there's no number. 17. Anderson. And then we have Ravel Marison. You know, say Ravel I get it 10. I forgive me 10, you know. Bobby will have 14. I'm going in midfield as well, because they say I go play. I can play wing too still. Alright, so Leon Bailey people. Is Leon Bailey fitting it? Well, Float, I never pick him right away because, you know, I just didn't want to gauge what the people them say. I had him there though. I mean, yeah, I had him. But yeah, me lock off the poll. Ravel kill Maggie in the poll. Sorry, Maggie. Look like Ravel win out that one day. CC, why you so upset, bro? I don't know why you guys get so upset when these conversations happen, guys. I mean, everybody gonna have them the opinions, you know? And they're not always rooted in what you think they're rooted in. Believe me. All right, so for me, Bailey, I know I'm not 100, but may I pick Bailey again because I just feel like he should be there now. I'm gonna drop Damari Gray for this go around because I don't think that he's fit at all. He hasn't played no football, and it's one thing to, you know, it's one thing to be at Newcastle where they think you're surplus to requirement and they're not using you. It's another thing to be just not available to play. And to my knowledge, you know, he's not 100 right now. And we have seen, you know, a lesser version of him before. So I'm going to say Cephas comes back into the team. I'm going to say Norman Campbell comes back into the team. And that's based on, you know, players developed here at home that have gone overseas and improved on their craft. I think Campbell has improved a little more than Cephas has since he's left. But I think Cephas does have a certain skill that is just kind of something that we could utilize against the US, especially knowing the parameters of the game where USA will probably have a lot of the ball, probably have a lot of the players pushed up the pitch, or want to have that, that threat in behind that we saw out of him when we faced them the last time in Texas in the Nations League finals last time. So, hopefully another year under his belt, some more training, that chance falls to him in a game like this time. He's a little bit better equipped to go ahead and compose himself and put it away, right? So I think Cephas and Campbell, just due to the fact that we're gonna need some of our attackers to really do a lot of running, chasing. I think Campbell is a little better than Cephas at that. I think Cephas is a really speedster, but I don't see his work rate being as high as Campbell. So I think Campbell is going to endear himself to this coach, especially the way that we're going to need to play against the USA. So I would say Campbell and Campbell and Cephas. Now, big deal then want to fire me before we play a game. But yeah, Swamptivity said no, they may have a forward as well. But I just don't know if he can play, bro. I mean, and put it this way. All right, I should do another poll then, because to me, I ain't bringing two players that almost fit. So I'm going to do one more poll, and you guys can tell me. I will go with what I'm going to go with, but I'm sorry when I get in one or the other. And this going to hurt because we're going to make one of them don't play. But let me say this now. Create a poll. Who you picking? Who you picking? Bailey, Demi. Both struggling with injury. One playing, one not playing. So who you picking? I just don't think Demi is fit enough. Believe me, if Demi was fit and just in a beef with Gerard and not get no game, would I still call him? But he's not fit, bro. But he's not fit. Yeah, if you guys don't believe me, I'll show you. Damari Gray. Yo, Damari, I'm a baller, people. Everybody know that. But we have to be honest. We already pick a player when I do nothing. I'm going to explain why, because of the place of the field. Now, in this particular position, left wing, right wing, we're not really, I wouldn't say we're in the same position as we are in midfield. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, don't let the people fool you. See? Like, let me show you guys. Damari Gray. Since you don't want to believe me. Damari Gray has not seen the pitch since the Honduras game on the 14th. Him go back, him team play must be 3 match, and I'll know him can't play again. And even worse than that, it's not like the man is making the match day squads, people. The man not even playing none at all. The man not on the bench, none at all. So, all right. So 10-3. Okay, so this was the first match after the window, 10-20. All right. So he didn't play none at all. Him team get red card. He's not on the bench, right? So I didn't think nothing of that. I said, okay, first game after the window, big traveling, whatever. Maybe the man said, okay, we're going to wait. Then, going back to this again. Hold on, I'm going to go back to the team. So, Etifak, right? Then we'll go back to the next game after that was in the Golf Club Champions League. Don't think he played in this game either. And I don't think he was on the bench either. No. Right. Okay. Next game would have been Pro League against Alfea. Let's just double check. I know he's not there now, but I'm going to show you. All right. He didn't start. Look at the bench. Damari Gray. Nowhere to be found there. Okay. They played another game in the Kings Cup on the 30th. So is it a case where he's playing in the cup games? Don't see him in the starting lineup. No. Not seeing him on the bench. All right. They had one more game on the 2nd. I think this is a Aubameyang team. Yeah. And Quinones. Yeah, so changing even the system right now, not even playing. Gerard, and still no signs of Damari Gray. So, bro, I don't know what you want me to say. I mean, the man is not doing much at the moment. He's just in the whole month of November, you don't see anything there. And even what he's done so far, I mean, we saw his form for Jamaica. It's been kind of down compared to what we used to from him. I wouldn't say as bad as some people making it out to be, but definitely lacking something in the form of his fitness. Maybe a bit heavy on the weight side. So, he has some things he needs to work on. And for me, like, I think Bailey already is in a similar boat. So I wouldn't want to just have both of them like that. So for me personally, people don't rate the man. I don't know why. But I am telling you, people, I'm going to go with Jamal Lowe in my team. I think, and there's a couple of reasons why. So one reason is I know that Mikel Antonio, who I'm going to put in the team as a striker, is out for the first game. So that would leave my other striker, who I'm going to put in the team, is Shamar Nicholson. I think he deserves his place back in the team. Experienced in the team, scores goals for Jamaica typically, and is rounding into some type of form finally for Spartak. So as long as he's available again, because I know he kind of made himself unavailable the last time, I would have him back into the squad. All right. But I'm going to pick Jamal Lowe because in that first game, when I don't have Antonio, I know people say Cephas is a forward and an option to play through the middle. I think Cephas is a winger, people. Don't think he should play through the middle, not as a lone player. If they're going to play two strikers, maybe potentially then. But if they're going to play without a forward up front by himself, I think Jamal Lowe would do the role better than Cephas would personally. I think he's more used to it. I think he's much better with his back to goal. Bringing other players into play, just a more technical player. And you have that option. If you want to go two striker, Jamal is a great supporting striker as well. And I think he can play behind the striker as well. So I think that versatility that he offers, you have your out and out wingers in Cephas, Campbell, and Bailey. And then you have more hybrid type forwards, the likes of Bobby Reid, Jamal Lowe, and then you have your strikers, Antonio and Nicholson. So you know me, I'm a balanced person. I like the team to have balance as well. So I think Jamal Lowe being added to the forward pool gives you a little bit more balance in terms of things you can do with different systems, because he does occupy different roles. Now, people can argue, and a lot of people have told me they don't think he's clinical enough and all these things. I just feel like against America, the United States, we need to fill the team up with technical players, and that's why I would include Jamal Lowe into this mix. So real quick, let me show you guys before I leave the building, because we're right at the 2 hour and 13-minute mark. I just want to thank everybody who has stuck around for the entirety of the show. I see a lot of you guys been chiming in and tuning in throughout the show, so really respect for that. And let me go through and just show you guys all the names in my list once and for all. All right, so if you look at the bottom of the screen here, you'll see the 3 goalkeepers in purple. Andre Blake, boom, Koreadai, and Jamali Waite. Then the defenders, center backs, we have Mason Holgate, Ethan Pinnock, Deshaun Bernard, and Damion Lowe. Right backs, Dexter Lembikisa, and of course, a player who can play multiple roles, but for the purpose of this exercise, we'll say he's over here in the right back pool, right? Then on the left back side of things, you have Amari Bell, and Greg Lee. And we're moving to our midfielders now. So we have, why did I move Greg? All right, now we have Isaac Hayden as a central midfielder, John Russell in the midfield system, Casey Palmer, Karai Anderson, Ravel Morrison, and Bobby DeCordova-Reid. Then forwards, we have Leon Bailey, Jamal Lowe, Ronaldo Cephas, Norman Campbell, Mikel Antonio, and Shamar Boza Nicholson. So that right there, people, is my 23-man squad. You'll see the keepers in purple. Then you have your defenders on the left, the midfielders in the middle, and then the 6 forwards in the system on the right-hand side of the screen. So that right there is my 23-man squad. Take a screenshot of it. Look at the names. As I said, people, I doubt that this will be the 23 that we see on Saturday. But again, this is just me. If I could coach the team, if I had no obstructions with resources and no obstacles, these are the 23 players that I would currently pick if it was up to me. All right, people. So that's the 23 right there. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Anybody that didn't get a chance to watch this program live, be sure to leave your comments in the comment section regarding what you see of this 23. We will return on Saturday evening to just do a actual squad breakdown of the real squad that's chosen on Saturday. And keep in mind, Saturday 10 o'clock, Meji $100 go give blogger and him style Gaza. I thought about reggae dancer. Yeah, and of course, people, look, I am the coach of this team, so one can beat me for my picks. Just like how we're going to beat McLaren, we're going to watch other shows where people pick teams and them going to get beat as well. So yeah, that's what it's all about. It's an opinion-based thing. But I like to think that my opinion is not only just an opinion or a feeling or I'm analyzing different things, and this is the conclusion that I have come to. I believe that we're going to need a good mix of technical and tactically astute players to play the USA. I think we're going to need to be locked in tactically for 90 plus minutes. And I think the players that I have chosen, have specific skill sets. Those who might not be the most technical or tactical, maybe they have an attribute that I just think will help us in a moment of the game. So that's why they're included, right? So, yeah, this is what I went with. I wanted some balance in the midfield. I didn't want to go, under creative, over creative. I didn't want to lack any steel in the midfield. So yeah, that's kind of why I made the choices I made, and I think this offers some good balance, right? So of course, there's only 23 players that can go in a team, right? Only 23. So there's gonna be those that are left out, and you're saying, "Damn, how they didn't make it." But the goal is, honestly, people, as we build this team and build a pool of players, we should all feel aggrieved when a 23 comes out. That means the team is improving. If everybody that sees the team when it comes out is happy, then something is wrong. Something is wrong. Either we don't have enough players or people just don't care enough, because everybody's going to have what they think, right? So this, for me, all things equal, I would say this for me would get the job done the best against the USA. When you factor in the opponent, the style that I would probably use to play them, and all these things, this to me would be able to get the job done. Also, I think I went strong enough in depth to where we don't necessarily have to play the same 11 both 90-minute games. I think sometimes in these two-leg affairs, that's something that does hurt the team that might be the underdog. They're less willing to have different teams play the two games, and so they're kind of more worn out than the other team. So, having Leon Bell, having Lembikis and Lati, having pretty much at almost every spot, I feel like I have two people that I'm okay with, you know. So I think that will also help. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Respect Mr. E, you know, them mixing, some are beat me, some are say good selection. So that is the nature of being a coach. So all you people that are aspiring coaches, just know you're gonna get beaten, and that's a part of it. But yeah, people, big up to everybody that tuned in today. Hopefully, as I said, I'm gonna leave this on the screen, so anybody that tuned back in, hopefully, you know, you might catch this as what you see. But yeah, this is my 23. That if I had the power to choose, this is what I would choose. All right, people. So big up on yourself. Thanks again for the support. Let me check back in with the actual thing and see what I wanna do with the likes span that show ya, because sometimes, you know, all right, not three bad. Hopefully, once the people watch it back a few times, we'll get up to the 100. But we're very, very close to the 70. So let's see if we can reach to the 75 before we lock off this program. But yeah, man, respect and thanks to everybody that tuned in this evening. We really, really do appreciate it. And we definitely will be back tomorrow. You know, we have the EPL weekend coming up, the last weekend before the window. I don't even know if I want to do a show because my team is not good right now, but we're not going to hide people. We will be here to take the beat in them. All right. So tomorrow night, we'll be back with another EPL preview show. And then Saturday, once the squad has been officially revealed, again, people, reminder, 10 o'clock local Jamaica time, which is also 10 o'clock for me now, since we roll back the clocks. Press conference open to the online public, so I will be in there virtually, and hopefully I get a chance to raise my hand, ask a question. Again, leave your comments in the comment section under this video. I'll be picking out one of the best questions. I will ask one of mine, and I will ask one from my subscriber base that sent one in. I'm going to pick out the best one. You guys have to send in really good ones, because I have 4 candidates already from one subscriber, and he's going to be tough to beat because all 4 of his questions are worthy of asking. So if you're going to send a question in, make sure you give it some thought, because it's going to be tough to get that slot. I will highlight the person as well in the press conference. So if you guys like credit and you like hearing your name, I will say one of my subscribers sent in this question. His or her name is so-and-so. So you'll get your 5 minutes of fame as well. So make sure it's a good question, but it will be, because I'm not going to pick a bad question to say. All right, people. So big up on yourself. Thanks again for the support. All the people in the building that turn up: Chris Smith, Alex Reed turn up late for Cosme. Yo, what's this, bro? What's this, bro? Why those comments have to be so mad, though? Come on, Alex, bro. Come on, Alex. Bill Alex. Yeah, DJ Gigs, We Max It Football. Logic One. Rob Smith there in the building for a long time as well. Omar Fowling, Know Yourself, Dan. Big League Romano, Chorus, big up yourself. Always the about on the channel. I show the love. Caribbean Rivers and Sea say one black god every time. J Ross in the building as well. El Meeks, one did forward and cut out. Oh, I'm still there about, man. Big up one. CC Sports Lab want cost me and everybody else. Big up yourself, same way. CC Sports Lab. Float Management, Reggae Dancehall TV. Say we style him after and give you $100. I don't know what I talk about, but big up yourself same way. Brown Man Security, big up yourself. Yeah, man. Everybody who may leave out, don't take it personal. Big up on yourself, and thanks again. Yeah, Chorus, me the drop range one at a time, let me know, but boy, I don't know, my first do better and do it myself, yeah, man. Yeah, Nitro, it was you, bro. You sent a brilliant, it was all 4 of them were good, bro. Right now, you in a lead, you know. So if nobody don't beat you, you can expect to hear one of those questions on Saturday. All right, boss? So make sure you tune in. All right, big up on yourself. Thanks again. And yeah, man, the question will be a good one, people. Yes, sir. All right, big up. And I'm gone. Family there, I'm gonna go par with them. Yeah, man, blessings. Manners and respect, up full. Reggae Boyz all the way, hopefully. But yeah, this is not the show to talk about what the scores will be. That's our next program. But this one was very fun, people. 23 names, my 23. You know, I tried to use the same metrics for all, but certain areas of the pitch we had to get creative, right? So it is what it is, people. This is my 23. Look at it, critique it, leave your comments in the comment section, and we continue the conversation. Big up on yourself. Damon Colley said, check out my squad selection at Doc Sports. All right, Damon Colley will do. Big up yourself, Damion Lowe, and make sure you subscribe if you are new. All right, later. Bless. Tomorrow we talk about